I suppose we could probably shift on over because we're already doing it. Shift over into the topical talk.
Yeah. So first and foremost, I just want to give a shout out to Lloyd and all the other content creators that have attempted to break this down for people like me who don't really understand server conversation, server meshing, things like that. I think I mentioned this on what was it? Vladis's Wednesday stream. That was our first time going live on a Wednesday, by the way. That was really fun. I'd mentioned it that, confirming with Vertec that I understood. Basically, as you're approaching the line of two servers, you have a clone of yourself on the new server while you're approaching the line. And you're basically sharing the same mind. So anything you do over here is happening over here on that player's server. And then as you enter, you basically swap. So now your clone is over here, but you're over here, but it's still doing the same thing. And that's the best way that I could understand it in layman's terms. But Lloyd is actually an IT lead admin. So he did a really good job of explaining.
You know what? Let me go ahead and bring his video up here while you're talking about him.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, fantastic job.
Yeah, I saw that you actually commented on there, Mr. Bach. You're like, very, very helpful.
Yes.
I love that he used so many of the Crayolas in the box for the different little servers.
Yeah, exactly. And I think this is really cool. I think that this is gonna really help with the future of having that chance of having 200 v 200, maybe even 500 v 500, and it just blows my mind what you can do in a game with tech. Like, I just do web development, so I kind of understand what's happening some of the time. But when it comes to servers and knowing like you can just spin up a server within a server within a server, it's just crazy. Like one of those, like let's say 11, if a bunch of people go into 11, they can spin up 3 servers to divide 11 to even the load. And I'm just like, my mind is just blown.
Wait, what? Huh?
So it's crazy. I don't know. I cannot imagine this tech. What are your thoughts on just the level that they're going into this?
Yeah, it was funny to see how Intrepid managed to keep it in secret, like so many years.
Yeah.
They don't tell us everything, People think all this live stream, they show everything to hype the game. But now we see like they working, cooking in the background, and they truly show us all the things they want to feedback from us, not what they have,
Yeah, exactly.
And it was so crazy. Like Intrepid Studio don't use something done before.
Yeah.
And a little bit bend, a little bit fix, put a little bandage here to fix the problem or the mask the problem. They go deep and try to resolve the problem, the root problem,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly, Oracle. I was telling Vertec, I was like, if this is the reason why we haven't really seen an Alpha 2 for the last 3 years, they were cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing. Even Penn brought up, PI testers didn't even know they were doing this. And Hangman, that's an additional response or additional thing we could add to Chibi's response is Maggie said that we were unknowingly testing that in the
Node Wars
test that we took part in. And that may have been why it felt messy at the very beginning, because maybe it was one of the very, very, very early introduction of that tech.
Yeah.
And then by the end of it, it felt really very smooth. Like it got really buttery really quick. Again,
and
not
from
quite.
I understand, Leaf Lloyd say they now they take the cloud route, like all the servers are from the cloud. So maybe that's why it was a little bit laggy, but when they put their own host and premise, then will be a lot of better,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think they had previously said they were doing AWS for their servers, so that would explain why there's not really any
it's
central
cheaper,
US. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, Vertec, you did a really good job of explaining this, I think, last night or this morning about them needing to spin up a server for a moment and that not costing as much as like perpetually.
Yeah, because cloud stuff, it's always based on usage time or reservation time. And if it's just, hey, we're going to need this type of server spun up as soon as possible at need, there might not be as much reservation cost. And the rest of the cost would end up being, instead of, say, a cloud server that's powerful enough might cost, say, like $10,000 a month, just to throw a random number out there that might be accurate. But that's running like 24/7, right? Like just continually running. If it's only up for a quick like 30-minute war or siege or something like that for a couple hours, it might only be, you know, $150.
Mhm.
Yeah. Planendorf says, one of the most underestimated thing in the game industry, in my opinion, is the clarity that having people playing your game gives you. Super appreciate UPI folks helping us out for the Node War live stream, and I can't wait to play with y'all during the spot test. Oh, I love that. That's
nice.
So sweet. Thank you.
Thank you, and you're very welcome.
It is honestly equally refreshing from the consumer side, having dubs in your chats and seeing in other people's streams, talking and interacting with the community. It's one of those things that I feel like it shows Intrepid cares. And also just being able to engage with you. Like we were honestly like a little nervous to engage too much with like asking you questions because like we don't want to get you guys in trouble. But then we were like, hey, I will worry about not getting myself in trouble. You don't have to worry about that, you know. But I think that's a good example of, you know, just loving. He's here to police your NDA.
Police the NDA. Police Endorf over here.
Police Endorf. You're allowed to talk about performance a little bit. Yeah, whatever we did with the Node Wars testing. I mean, when Maggie said that, the only thing that came to mind that made me think this is server meshing was at one point during node testing, they had us all go to like one area, both sides, and we were just like running around, spamming abilities and just like swinging weapons and stuff like that. And at that time, if you were like off in the distance, I don't even know how in-game distance works, so I'm not even gonna try to give you a footage difference. But off in the distance, we could still see people, but they were kind of like stop motioning across the cliffs. It was really kind of entertaining to see. But as that same person came closer to you, they became very buttery smooth. Like the second you entered within a certain radius of me, everybody was very smooth. But who watches the Watchmen? But that's the only thing that came to mind when she said that we were testing it during the Node Wars test. So
yeah.
Very excited.
Either way, if that was one of the early tests, it makes me even more confident because it spun up pretty well. It felt good.
Yeah, the time how fast they fix things. It's very impressive from our point of view.
Yeah.
Like even Alpha 1, you know, like something is broken, okay? 5 hours, everything is fixed.
And then it wasn't broken anymore. Yeah.
For sure, we have the best community and the best developers in the industry. No?
Yeah, exactly.
In my opinion.
Yeah. No, I agree. The speed that even continued in with the Node Wars test, the speed at which they implemented fixes was amazing. Also, Hangman, I don't know if there's going to be a collector's edition, but they are intending to bring back merch. So there very well might be a Vera map for purchase.
Yeah.
For Vera map, I can recommend go to the It's Fane. He's very good at this.
Yeah, soon TM, exactly, soon TM. I love how they keep taunting us with the merch. Like behind Brian was like the journals, and I was just like, I want one.
Yep, yeah, on the table behind Brian. Yeah. I don't recall seeing
from
this
Steven,
before.
like with these big ears, like the cup.
Yeah. I was like,
oh my god.
That handle alone looks like a huge ear. I want merch so bad. See, you and me both, Planendorf. You and me both.
You see, that mug was multi-purpose. That handle can be detached and used as a club. Not sure if you knew this.
Yeah.
First time.
Oh my gosh. So also I just want to share this out because Ash's Moments, I came across them previously on like X before. But they actually did a really good breakdown of the live stream and did it in a very searchable manner and easy to follow. I don't understand a lot of this, but what I did get out of it is it's going to really change how Ashes is going to run compared to a lot of the other MMORPGs. I love that there's going to be no loading screens between them. It's going to just be seamless merging from one to the other.
And I think it's much bigger. They push all the industry forward with this technology.
Yeah. Like I think it's about time too, because look at how old this industry is, you know. Yeah, no loading and no layers. It's amazing to hear. I also love I love how well Intrepid took such a complex thing and made it very easy to follow with the visuals on screen. So seeing that translucent barrier between the servers and then seeing Kevin doing his moves.
Proxy Kevin, right?
Yeah, Proxy Kevin. And then also having the server with like player 1, player 2, and player 3, where player 1 dives into the water and it's showing the update of that information to player 2 and 3.
Yeah, that's why this was so amazing stream. Like they don't just talk about it; they show us everything, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sorry, Planendor says Dark Lord Kevin.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I'm really excited. Yeah, this definitely sets the bar for what Unreal Engine 5 can do and allow the team to market their backend creation to others. Absolutely. Hi, Moonman. There is so much about the network architecture and backend of Ashes that is revolutionary for massive online gaming. I agree. I'm not really sure, like, obviously it was a lot of work that went into that, but I'm not really sure what, like, I don't know, like how difficult it was to create something like that. I can only imagine is kind of what I'm getting at, the intensity of creating something like that.
Yeah, I just know when it comes to all that setup, the one thing that popped out to me is naming the microservice tracker after one of the Varen gods kind of gives me a little bit of
shows eye, right?
Yeah,
some Horizon vibes. Like there's gonna be a team dedicated to Shoal. There's gonna be a team dedicated to all the different gods, and they have different duties and responsibilities inside the game.
Team Shoal is working on this.
Yeah.
Verino, Ashes, I don't know if they're gonna have a tabletop game. I can only hope. I will be first in line to buy that. I don't know how much it's gonna cost. I don't know when it's coming out, but I'd like to be first in line. Wizard asks thoughts on the possibility of a DDoS attack during Alpha 2 from a salty hacker. And Lloyd, I'm sure you would have some input on this as well. Bertek, I saw you responded, so I'll let you take this one.
Yeah, I think a DDoS attempt is pretty much gonna be a guaranteed. Like pretty much gonna be a guaranteed. Like even if it's not somebody salty specifically with Intrepid or salty specifically at Ashes or salty about anything, it could literally just be someone saying, "Hey, there's a new game coming online, and I just wanna see if I can break them."
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
I mean, it may not be a bad thing in the purpose of testing, right, Mr. Bach?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a term called script kiddies, for those who aren't aware. It basically mean people that want to, they have that glamorized view of that hacker lifestyle from movies or what have you, and they just go around and they Google up different code and Google up different scripts, and they just throw them out there, trying to just see if they can attempt to make something happen so they can show their friends, "Hey, look what I did. I totally hacked them." And they may not know what they're doing. They're just doing it for, crits and giggles.
Fun.
And,
but I think with Ashes of Creation, it will be a little bit more difficult because it's a new technology, These hackers and cheaters maybe don't know yet how to hack this kind of system. Like
Yeah.
all the other games are a bunch of clones, you know. It's maybe much easier for them to hack this kind of game.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, Hangman, I feel like it's an eventuality. I'd rather it happen at the beginning so that they can figure out some ways to help prevent instead of it during launch, live launch.
Yeah, there's a lot of protections out there for it nowadays. Anyway, I mean, a lot of companies will have protections in place to where a DDoS is going to stop them for like 30 seconds to a minute, and it's going to be, oh, whoops, you had to log off and log back on, but it's under control now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Warrior said, you can stop it.
Exactly. It's bound to happen. I mean, look at what happened with Apple. Apple was like, we're unhackable, and then like, a week or a month later, they were hacked.
Yeah.
Oh man, don't start with me on Apple. Every time they poke the bear, they get something striking at them, because every time they say something like that, like, we haven't been hacked in blah blah blah, like a week later they get hacked.
Yeah,
honestly,
it's putting the challenge,
Yeah,
part of me thinks that is either a PR stunt to make people try to hack them so they can fix things more, or they're just being overly confident.
I think overly confident is my vote, because
yeah, that's fair.
Man, it's just one of those things. Like, it's just that nobody cares to is what the thing was. Nobody cares to. You can fly under the radar for only so long, but when you put yourself on the radar, it's a totally different story.